What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I appreciate y'all tuning in during these videos. If you guys listen to them, which I hope you're listening to them if you're watching this, by the way, comment below your thoughts. Share some of your thoughts. What do you think? I'd love to hear them. All right, so share them below. Let's get a discussion thread on this. Now, a lot of people want to discuss this, so feel free to share your comments below. But today, we're diving into what I think is one of the most important qualities when determining or trying to understand if someone is an athlete or has athletic potential. All right? Before we dive into what that one quality is that I was talking about, I need to define what athleticism is. All right? So athleticism is about the magnitude of force you express, so how much force, how powerful you are. But more importantly, maybe than the actual force you're producing, is the coordination and organization of that force. Think about it like a symphony. Your quads are the baritone, your biceps are the violin, your core are the drums. They all have to work together to produce a beautiful piece. The baritone cannot play randomly, and if it's really loud compared to the drums, it's going to sound horrible. All these intricate pieces have to work together. They have to work in synchrony. They have to work in coordination. They have to both fit not only the amount of expression, but also the rhythm of expression. A beautiful musical piece played by a symphony requires a certain kind of rhythm where the instruments and the trumpets and the baritones and the violins make certain sounds and noises at times, and that comes out to be a beautiful musical masterpiece. That is what I think is one of the most important qualities for athleticism, and that quality being rhythm. Rhythm, kind of an overarching term used to describe your ability to synchronize and organize your muscular force efforts, your biceps, your quads, your core, in a holistic fashion to produce movement. That is movement in space, so running, changing direction, and so on. And why? Why do I think this is so important? Well, let's just take a step back first, and I'll describe why it's important in a second. But let's just use a little thought experiment. We have two groups of people. A lot of times people go, Max, it's not rhythm that's most important, it's strength. Okay, fair, whatever. Let's take a group of 100 of the best strength athletes, just raw strength. They don't play a sport, they're just super strong. And 100 of the best dancers And we are now going to each give them one day to try and learn how to run certain kind of routes, one day to learn certain kind of basketball moves, one day to learn certain kind of tennis moves. I don't play tennis. I'm assuming they do moves in tennis, maybe not. The point is, I think, and imagine now they went one-on-one against each other. I would be willing to bet the people who are dancers can pick up movement patterns far quicker than those who don't have that rhythmic inclination, those who are rhythmically gifted. Now, they might be a lot stronger, but you hit them with one hesitation, that strength doesn't really overpower you. So while strength has the ability within a narrow window to be an extremely powerful variable to overcome many, I don't want to say deficiencies, but lacking qualities, it can only be expressed when you can actually express it. Well, if you get in a grappling match, I'm sure the stronger person probably has a good advantage. But if you can't get your hands on the person who's moving around, that strength has no benefit. Imagine the strong person trying to play defensive back on a wide receiver who's rhythmically gifted. If you don't, check them at the line, well, there's no way you're going to be able to keep up with them. They'll give you one move and you're gone. Press them at the line, by the way. I'm not a football player. I never played DB. I'm assuming it's actually press them at the line, not check them. Check's like a hockey term. You get the idea. Now, I think rhythm is so important for what I just alluded to. I think if you have the ability to have rhythm, coordination, movement, and space, you can end space, not and space. It'd be cool to have rhythm and space, but that's not the case. Rhythm and space. We can watch a demonstrator, a teacher, our coach move. And we ourselves, if we're rhythmically inclined, can pick up those movement patterns better because we understand visually what they're doing and we can process it internally to our own rhythm. On top of that, if you're rhythmically inclined, you can gauge someone else's rhythm. You know on a hesitation on basketball when they're weight shifted based on your own rhythm and setting. Maybe you know the same thing when you make a cut in football. I think rhythm is one, not the only, but one of the major explanatory variables as to what would be, if I had to pick one, again, the key thing is one, out of a random group of people and I had them all dance, I'd be willing to pick the dancer as potentially one of the best potential athletes. Because if I could teach that dancer strength and power, now they have maybe not all the strength and power that the most gifted power athlete, strength athlete has and possesses, but they have a lot of it that they can express through a wide scope because they can move in such a wonderful way. That is why I think rhythm is so key. So before you start hating on my Instagram posts of me dancing and moving side to side, and you think we don't lift heavy weights, which is a total lie. We lift heavy weights. Of course we do. Of course we do. Dancing and rhythm is a piece of the puzzle. It's not the only piece. Okay? It's a piece. But it's a big piece. It's an important piece. And it might not be necessary to emphasize it a ton on certain people because they just have it. They have that gift. And they don't need to spend tons of time on it because they're lacking in other areas and so on. So I think it's something we as coaches should think about, observe, and ponder. What does it mean for older adults, younger kids? Do older adults lose rhythm and coordination? Is that part of healthy aging, is maintaining that? And as a kid, is it important to develop it, being such an important quality, in my opinion? I don't know. I think so. I'd be willing to bet it probably is important. But I'll let you decide. Comment below. Let me know what you think about rhythm coordination. What do you think about this conversation here? Share your thoughts. I love to hear them. I appreciate y'all as always, and take care.